The Hermans were the worst kids in the whole history of the world. They lied, stole, and smoked cigars, even the girls. They talked dirty and cussed their teachers and took the name of the Lord in vain, and set fire to Fred Shoemaker's old broken-down toolhouse. There were 6 of them: Ralph, Imogene, Leroy, Claude, Ollie, and Gladys. And they went to the Woodrow Wilson School like those South American fish that strip your bones clean. They went around town the same way, stealing things, tearing things up, and whamming kids. There was only one safe place.
Sweet hour of prayer, because there are no herdmans there. And Jesus loves us, as they say, because he keeps them miles away.
That's my little sister Charlie. That's what she said when the Sunday school teacher asked her what her favorite thing about church was. Charlie said no herdmans. That made the teacher mad, because all the other kids said nice things about God and Jesus, but good feelings. But old Charlie told the real truth. No herdmans.
I don't care what everybody else said. That's what they really thought. All the other stuff is okay, but the main good thing about church is that the herdmans aren't there, ever.
That's not a very Christian sentiment, it seems to me.
It's a very practical sentiment. Charlie was black and blue all last year because he had to sit next to Leroy Herman at school.
Is he the worst one, Leroy?
They're all the worst one.
Ralph's the biggest, so if Ralph gets to you.
That doesn't make any difference. Gladys isn't big, but she's fast and she's mean and she bites.
I'm sorry, Ass. Just stay away from all of them.
That's what I said. Stay away from them. Go to church.
Glad to hear you feel that way.
Why?
No arguments this year about the Christmas pageant.
I don't want to be a shepherd again.
Thomas Armstrong wanted to be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
Everybody's in it. Think of how I'd feel sitting there on Christmas Eve with my own child in it. Think of how your father would feel. He'd feel terrible, wouldn't you?
Well, actually, I didn't plan on going. You know how crowded it always is. They can use my seat. I was just planning on staying home, put on my bathrobe, relax. There's never anything different about the Christmas pageant.
There's going to be something different this year.
What?
Charlie's going to be wearing your bathrobe.
You just knocked that up, Grace. Why don't you be Joseph? Elmer Hopkins will pay you $1 for Joseph. Elmer's sick of being Joseph all the time. Just because his father's a minister, nobody wants to be Joseph.
Nobody wants to be in it.
What are you in the play?
I'm always in the angel choir.
Why can't Charlie be in the angel choir?
Because I can't sing.
To what I've heard, away in a manger always sounds like a closet full of mice.
What do you wear in the angel choir?
Bedsheet.
Oh boy, some choice, a bathrobe or a bedsheet. Come on, let's go watch TV.
You know Mrs. Armstrong worked very hard to give everyone a lovely experience.
Oh Mom, Mrs. Armstrong just likes to run things.
They're right, of course. She directs the pageant, she directs the potluck supper, she's chairman of the bazaar. I think Helen Armstrong would preach a sermon if anyone let her.
Is that George Armstrong's wife?
Yes.
Well, maybe she'll try to manage the hospital, because that's where she is. I saw George over by the drugstore, and he told me she broke her leg this morning. She'll be in traction for 2 weeks, and this will lay up to the first of the year.
The first of the year? Well, they'll have to cancel Christmas.
She's in charge of Christmas?
She's in charge of the pageant and bazaar. Feel sorry for Ellen, but who's going to do all those things?
Yes, I'll take over the bazaar, and if you'll do the potluck supper. I don't know what in the world we'll do about the pageant, unless... How about Grace?
I just can't, Edna. I've got company all Christmas week. How about Grace?
How about Grace?
Hello, Grace?
Bob,
What?
I have to direct the Christmas pageant.
Does that mean I have to go?
Our Christmas pageant isn't what you call a 4-star entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking her leg was the only unexpected thing that ever happened to it. It was always the same old Christmas story and the same old carols and the same old Mary and Joseph. And that's what my mother was stuck with. That and Mrs. Armstrong.
Tell you again, Grace, how important it is to give everyone a chance. Here's what I do. I always start with Mary, and then tell them we must choose our Mary carefully, because she's the mother of Jesus.
I know that, Helen.
Yes, and then I tell them about Joseph, that he was God's choice to be Jesus' father. Frankly, I don't ever spend too much time on him. He's always Elmer Hopkins, and he knows everything about Mary and Joseph.
I thought Mrs. Armstrong was in traction. How could she talk forward if she's in traction?
What do you think traction is?
Like when they put you to sleep?
No such luck. Beth, we need salt, pepper, and napkins.
But I do explain about the wise men and the shepherds, and then how important they are. And tell them there are no small parts, only small actors. And remind the angel choir not to stare at the audience, and don't let them wear earrings and things like that, or clunky shoes and high heels. I just hope you don't have too many baby angels, Grace. They'll be your biggest problem.
You'll leave some for the rest of us, won't you, Charlie?
I'm hungry. Leroy Hardman stole my lunch again.
Why can you let him do that to you day after day?
How can I stop him? Where's the chicken?
Grace, where's the chicken?
It's still in the oven.
I'll get it.
You'll have to get someone to push the baby angels on, otherwise they'll get in their way and bend their wings. Bob could do that. He could keep an eye on the shepherds too. Oh, another thing about the angel choir, don't let them wear lipstick because they think it's a play.
Helen, I have to go. There's someone at my door. Someone at my door, Helen. I'll talk to you later. Yes, I'm coming.
That they'll have to wear lipstick, and it looks terrible, so tell them.
Lady, can you give me some supper? I hadn't a square meal in 3 days.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, it's you.
I felt very lonely at the table.
Well, I guess Helen feels lonely at the hospital.
The telephones are working.
I'll bet she told you about no small parts, only small actors.
Get some to shoot the baby angels on and make the shepherd shut up.
Yes, she suggested your father.
Sammy and I have to go.
And Grace, don't use anybody's baby for Jesus. Get a quiet one. Better yet, get 2 if you can. And if one turns out to be fussy, you can always switch them.
My mother didn't pay much attention to Mrs. Armstrong. She said Mrs. Armstrong was stuck in the hospital with nothing to do but think up problems. And there weren't any problems. My mother didn't count on the Herdmans. That was Charlie's fault.
Hey, Leroy, you give me back my lunch.
Sure, kid. Here.
You stole my dessert again.
How do you know?
Because it isn't here.
What was it?
2 Twinkies.
That's right. That's what it was.
Hey, Leroy, you think it's so great to steal my dessert every day. And you know what? I don't care if you steal my dessert. I'll even give you my dessert. I get all the dessert I want in Sunday school.
Oh, yeah? What kind of dessert?
All kinds. Chocolate cake and cookies and candy bars and Twinkies and Big Wheels. We get refreshments all the time. All we want.
You're a liar.
And ice cream and donuts and cupcakes.
Who gives it to you?
The minister.
Why, is he crazy?
No, I think he's rich.
Sunday school, huh?
That was the wrong thing to tell the Herdmans, and sure enough, the very next Sunday, there they were in Sunday school, just in time to hear about the Christmas pageant.
What's a pageant?
It's a play.
Like on TV, what's it about?
It's about Jesus.
Everything here is.
And it's about Mary. Mostly it's about Mary.
Who's Mary?
I am. Well, probably I am. I know the part.
Now, this won't take very long if you all settle down. Today we are going to decide who will play our main roles in our Christmas pageant. But of course, everyone will have an important part to play. You know what Mrs. Armstrong always tells you? There are no small parts, only small actors. Isn't that what Mrs. Armstrong always says?
She always says, but she never says what it means.
Don't you know what it means?
I know what it means. It means the short kids have to sit in the front row of the angel choir, or else nobody can see them.
Well, not exactly. It really means that the littlest baby angel is just as important as Mary.
I don't think anyone else is as important as Mary.
Well, naturally, that's what you think, Alice. I think Jesus is more important.
I still think it means the short kids have to sit in the front row.
Girls, everyone is important. Mary, Jesus, and the little kids. Now, Beverly, can you just step down the hall and see if anyone else is coming? Now, you little children will be your angels, so please mind your mothers don't need bed sheets. People in the angel choir will need bed sheets too, and if any of you have old bathtubs at home. Now, what's the matter? Well, let's make some room there for the Herdman. Now, what happened to Beverly?
I think she went home. I think she got sick.
Did she say she was sick?
She just left. All I did was I just said, "Hi, Beverly," and she just left.
I see. Well, will someone please tell Beverly about the rehearsals? The next 4 Wednesdays plan to be here for everyone.
What if we get sick?
You won't get sick. Of course, Mary and Joseph must absolutely come to every rehearsal.
What if they get sick?
They won't get sick either, Elmer.
But Beverly got sick and we didn't even start yet.
We don't know that Beverly got sick. Now, I want you to think about Mary. We all know what type of person Mary was. She was quiet, gentle, and kind. And the type of girl who plays Mary should try to be all that. Did you have a question, Imogene?
No, I want to be Mary. And Ralph right here, he wants to be Joseph.
Yeah, right.
Well, I'll just make a list of volunteers and we'll all decide who it should be. Ralph Herdman. Now, who else would like to be Joseph? Did you raise your hand, Elmer?
No.
Just raise your hands, please. Any of you shepherds? Very well. Ralph Herdman will be our Joseph. And Imogene has volunteered to be Mary. I'll just write that down. What other names can I put on my list? Janet, Roberta, Alice, don't you want to volunteer?
No, I don't want to.
I'll be married.
Shut up, Gladys. I'm already married. You'll be a wise man.
Well, the wise men are usually boys. Of course they don't have.
I'll be a wise man. Me too, Claude. You want to be a wise man? Raise your hand. What's wise man? Just raise your hand.
What's left to be?
Some angel.
I'll be that. What is it? It's the angel of the Lord who brought the good news to the shepherds. Well, we do have volunteers after all. Yes, Toby, would you like to be wise men?
No, and I just wanted to say I can't be a shepherd. We're going to Philadelphia.
Why didn't you say so before?
I just remembered.
My mother doesn't want me to be a shepherd.
Why not?
I don't know. She just said, don't be a shepherd.
I'm not going to be a shepherd.
Oh, yes, you are. What's the matter with all of you?
I don't want to be a shepherd. Gladys Herdman hits too hard.
But Gladys is going to hit anybody. The angel of the Lord visits the shepherds in the fields and tells them Jesus is born.
And hits them.
Elmer, that's ridiculous, and I don't want to hear another word about it from anyone. No shepherds may quit or get sick. And that's all for today, boys and girls, and you can go. But I expect to see everyone here at 6:30. Alice, what's wrong with you? Why in the world did you raise your hand? I don't know. You don't know?
Miss Bradley, get Gladys off of me.
I expected you to volunteer. Don't you want to be married?
Miss Bradley.
Really, Alice, I don't know. I didn't dare raise my hand. Imogene would have killed me. She said, I'm going to be married in the Christmas pageant. And I said, I'm always married in the Christmas pageant. And she said, go ahead then. And next spring, when all the pussy willows come out, I'll stick a pussy willow so far down your ear that nobody can reach it. And it'll sprout there and grow and grow. And you'll spend the rest of your life with a pussy willow bush growing out of your ear.
You know she wouldn't do that.
She would too. The Herdmans would do anything. You just watch. They'll do something terrible and ruin the whole Christmas pageant. And it's all your mother's fault.
Jane and McCarthy, did you hear about well, it must be Grace's fault somehow. How else would the 6 of them end up in a Christmas pageant when they ought to be in jail?
Vera, Irma Slocum, I just heard that Imogene Herdman is going to be married in the Christmas pageant, and is that a fact? All 6 of them? Vera, I live next door to that outfit, and I'd rather live next door to a zoo. Has Grace gone crazy?
Where did they come from? Who let them in? Imogene Herdman? What kind of child was that to be married the mother of Jesus? Where was Reverend Hopkins, I'd like to know. He was what? Visiting shut-ins? Well, I'm shut in, and he wasn't visiting me.
I said, why don't you let them hand out programs at the door? Grace said we never have programs for the pageant, but I said,
Better nail down the church and lock up the silver service and hide the collection plates before they clean them out.
What was the matter with Grace? Couldn't she have sent them away? Tell them to go home? Oh, I feel responsible. If I hadn't been up and around, this never would have happened.
If I'd been up and around, this would have never have happened. Well, let me tell you.
Don't tell me. I'm on your side. The car's over there.
Helen Armstrong is not the only woman alive who can run a Christmas pageant. I did the best I could under the circumstances, and I'm going to make this the best Christmas pageant ever. And I'm going to do it with the Herdmans. After all, they raised their hands and nobody else did. I don't care.
Good for you, Grace. The car's over there.
And you have to help me.
Does that mean I have to?
You have to go. The inn is back here off stage, and the shepherds come in and gather around the manger.
Where'd all the shepherds come from anyway?
What's an inn?
It's like a motel where people go to spend the night.
What people? Jesus?
Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph went there.
Why?
To pay their taxes.
At the motel? Shut up, Polly. Shut up, everybody. I want to hear. Begin at the beginning.
The beginning?
The beginning of the play. What happens first?
Imogene, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. Haven't you ever heard the Christmas story from the Bible?
No.
This is what this Christmas pageant is, so I better read it to you.
I can't believe that. Can you? That they've never heard the Christmas story?
Why not? They don't even know what the Bible is. They've never gone to church in their whole life until your dumb brother told them about Christmas. Now we have to waste all this time for nothing.
Alright now, there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that the whole world should be taxed. And Joseph went up from Galilee with Mary, his wife, with a great child.
Pregnant! She was pregnant!
Alright now, that's enough. We all know that Mary was pregnant. And it came to pass while they were there that the days were accomplished, that she should be delivered, and she brought forth her firstborn son.
I don't think it's very nice to say Mary was pregnant.
Well, she was.
It's better to say great with child. I'm not supposed to talk about people being pregnant, especially in church.
And they wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn.
They didn't have room for Jesus?
Well, nobody knew the baby was going to be Jesus.
Didn't Mary know? Didn't he know? What was the matter with Joseph that he didn't tell them, her pregnant and everything?
What's a manger? Some kind of bed?
Well, they didn't have a bed in a barn, so Mary had to use whatever there was. What would you do if you had a new baby and no bed to put the baby in?
We put Gladys in a dresser drawer.
Well, there you are. You didn't have a bed for Gladys, so you had to use something else.
Oh, we had a bed. Only Ollie was still in it and he wouldn't get out. He didn't like Gladys. Remember how you didn't like Gladys?
That was smart of Ollie not to like Gladys right off the bat.
Anyway, a manger is a large wooden feeding trough for animals.
What were wadded up clothes?
A what?
It said in there she wrapped him in wadded up clothes.
Swaddling clothes. People used to wrap babies up very tightly in big pieces of materials to make them feel cozy.
You mean they tied him up and put him in a feed box? Where was the child welfare?
The child welfare is at our house every 5 minutes.
There wasn't any child welfare in Bethlehem.
I'll say there wasn't.
And there were shepherds keeping watch of their flocks by night, and lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of Shazam! What?
Out of the black night with horrible vengeance, the mighty marvel.
I don't know what you're talking about, Gladys.
The mighty marvel and amazing comics out of the black night with horrible vengeance.
This is the angel of the Lord who comes to the shepherds.
Out of nowhere, right? And black night, right?
Well, in a way, Shazam! Now when Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east bearing gifts of gold and frankincense
What's that?
and myrrh.
What's that?
They were special things, spices and precious oils.
Oil. What kind of present is oil? We get better presents from the welfare.
Were they welfare for the wise men?
They were kings and they were sent.
Well, it's about time somebody important showed up. If they're kings, then they can get the baby out of the barn and tell the innkeeper where to get off.
They were sent by Herod, who was, well, he was the main king and he wanted to find Jesus and have him put to death.
My God, he just got born and they're going to kill a baby?
Who's Herod in this play?
Herod isn't in the play.
He's out to kill the baby and he isn't even in the play.
Well, somebody better be Herod. Let Charlie be Herod. He says, go get me that baby. And they say, okay, because he's a king and all. But they never did it. They go back and got Herod.
I'm not going to be Herod.
No one's going to be Herod.
No, Joseph gets the shepherds together and they go wipe out Herod. See? They're going to put one in, and it's going to be me, and I'll get killed.
Forget about Herod. There's no Herod.
And I run away with the baby till the fight's over.
Someone else fix the innkeeper. Gladys, you wipe out the innkeeper.
I can't. I'm an angel.
Well, I wouldn't just hang around in a barn. I'd go get a room.
She said there wasn't any room.
Then I'd kick somebody out. I'd say, I've got this baby and it's the middle of the winter, so either get out or move over.
I'd go after old Herod.
I'd send the angel after him. She could just point her electric finger and zap his eyelashes.
What's the name of this play? She never said.
Christmas Pageant.
That's the name. That's what it is.
I know a name. I call it Revenge at Bethlehem.
Revenge at Bethlehem. The Herdmans thought the Christmas story came out of the FBI files. At least they picked out the right villain. It was Herod they wanted to gang up on, not the baby Jesus. But the baby Jesus quit anyway. It was supposed to be Eugene Slocum, but Mrs. Slocum said she didn't want Imogene Herdman's to have to get her hands on him. So we didn't have a baby Jesus, and that bothered my mother, and she tried to scratch up a baby, even at the last rehearsal. What do you keep writing in that book? It's like a diary. No, it isn't. It's all about the Herdmans. Imogen curses and swears all the time. Ralph talks about silly things. And Mrs. Bradley called Mary pregnant. Gladys Herdman drinks communion wine. It isn't even wine. It's grape juice. I don't care what it is. She drinks it. I've seen her 3 times with her mouth all purple. And they steal too. If you shake the birthday bag, it doesn't make a sound. Because they stole all of the pennies out of it. And every time you walk into the ladies' room, the air is blue. And Imogene Herdman is sitting there in the Mary costume, smoking cigars. You wrote all this down? What for? My mother, Reverend Hawkins, the Ladies' Aid Society, and anybody else who wants to know what happened when the whole Christmas pageant turned out to be a big mess, and it's all of your mother's fault.
Alright everyone, let's get quiet. Now this is our last rehearsal and we're going to
Grace, I just wanted to tell you that we're all back in the kitchen making applesauce cake. We'll try not to bother you. I guess this is your dress rehearsal.
It's supposed to be. Oh, and then didn't I hear your niece had a baby a month or so ago? Little girl?
Yes, she's 5 weeks old and...
Oh, I wonder how it would be if I were to call your niece and ask if we could borrow.
Grace, no. I could make up some lie and tell you the baby's crank or sick or something, but the truth is that she's perfectly healthy and happy and beautiful. We all want her to stay that way, so it's certainly not going to hand her over to Imogen Herman. Sorry, Grace.
Mrs. Bradley, you can have my little brother for Jesus.
I didn't know you had a baby, David.
He's not new. He's 4 years old, but he's double jointed and he could probably skirt up.
Well, I don't think.
I'll go see the baby.
How can you do that?
There's always 2 or 3 babies in carriages outside the supermarket. I'll just get one of them.
Imogen, you can't just walk off with someone else's baby. I guess we'll forget about the baby. We'll just use a dog.
Yeah, that's better anyway. A dog can't bite you.
Hey, Imogen, you know Mary didn't wear earrings.
I have to wear these. If I don't, then they'll grow together.
Well, they won't grow together in an hour and a half. What did the doctor tell you?
What doctor?
Who pierced your ears?
Gladys?
I bet she did it with an ice pick. I bet her ears will turn black and fall right off.
Well, we'll have to find something smaller. Now, is that your costume? Is that what you're going to wear? You're all supposed to have your costumes on today.
I can't find my halo.
My week's got all been. Janet's got mine.
My mother doesn't have a white sheet. I would have been going on it. I haven't got a costume. I've never been a shepherd before. You have to wear your father's background. That's what I have to do. He hasn't got one. What then what does he hang around in the house in? His underwear.
All right, pretend you're wearing costumes.
Are we going through the whole thing?
Yes, of course. But first, we're going to practice just the entrances. So all of you go where you're supposed to be, and we'll start with the shepherds. Just read the last few words, Maxine. Shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night. Music, shepherds. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them. Shazam! No, Gladys, out of the black night. No. Go on, Maxine. A multitude of the heavenly hosts. Music, angels. Music, wise men.
I've got the baby here, and don't touch him. I named him Jesus.
No, you don't say anything. Mary doesn't say anything. Mary and Joseph.
Go, get back.
Make a lovely picture for us to look at when we think about Christmas and what it means to put the doll back.
I don't get to say anything. Some angel gets to tell me what to call the baby. I would have named him Bill.
Oh, what a terrible thing to say.
What angel was that? There's angels all over the place. Was that Gladys?
No, Gladys brought the good news to the shepherds.
Yeah, unto you a child was born.
On to me, not that me. I'm the one that had the baby.
No, that just means that Jesus belongs to everybody. Unto all of us a child is born.
Why did Mary just name her own baby? What did that angel do? Just walked up and said, name him Jesus?
Yes.
I know what the angel said. His name shall be the Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, and the Prince of Peace.
My God, he'd never get out of the first grade if he had to write all that.
Mrs. Bradley, what should I do? Should I start over?
5 minutes, Maxine, 5 minutes.
5 minutes turned into 15 minutes. Imogen Herman spent the whole time smoking cigars at the ladies' room. Then Mrs. McCarthy went to the ladies' room and called the fire department, and they came right away.
Fire, fire, there's a fire!
Get out, get out. Everyone out, 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 out.
They cleared everybody out of the building and dragged a fire hose through the whole church looking for a fire to put out. But the only one they found was in the kitchen. All the applesauce cake had burnt up. Of course the ladies were mad about that. And Mrs. McCarthy was mad. And my mother was mad.
Why in the world did you call the fire department about a little smoke.
There was a lot of smoke. The ladies' room was full of thick smoke.
It couldn't have been. You just got excited. And now look, the street is full of baby angels crying and shepherds crying all over the fire truck and half the neighborhood. Didn't you know it was cigar smoke?
No, I didn't know it was cigar smoke. I didn't expect to find cigar smoke in our ladies' room with a church.
Alice Windlekin's mother was mad too, and so was the whole Ladies' Aid Society. And Reverend Hawkins said she didn't know what to think about it.
I've been on the telephone all day and I can't make head or tails of it. Some say they set fire to the ladies' room. Others say they set fire to the kitchen. Bear Windlekin says all they talk about is silly things and underwear.
That was Hobie Clark talking about underwear, and they didn't set fire to anything. The only fire was in the kitchen where all the applesauce cake burned up.
Well, the whole church is in uproar. I don't know. Jesus said, suffering little children, come unto me, but I'm not sure he meant the herdmans. Grace, don't you think we should cancel the pageant?
I bet that was Helen Armstrong's idea.
We could blame it on the fire. Makes a good excuse.
I bet that was Linda McCarthy's idea.
Well, everybody thinks it's going to be a
disaster? Well, they're wrong. This is going to be the best Christmas pageant we've ever had.
But Grace, I don't think anyone will come to see it.
I can't even see where I'm going. Where in the world do you think I'm supposed to put this thing?
I thought it might look like a good accessory. I see now that it doesn't. Oh, I haven't got any idea what's going to happen next. We've never once gone through the whole thing, and the herdmen still think it's some kind of spy story. This may be the first Christmas pageant in history where Joseph and the wise men get in a fight and Mary runs off with the baby. Where are our kids?
All the kids in the world are downstairs in the basement playing on bed sheets.
I mean, our kids. We're here. Well, it's getting late, so go get your costumes on.
It looks awful, you know. They're all fastened together and wearing their old woolly tennis shoes. They look like refugees or something.
Mary and Joseph were refugees in a way. They didn't have any place to stay, were cold and hungry and messy.
I don't know about cold and hungry, but they sure were messy.
Oh dear, do you think I should?
I think you worry too much. I'm going to push on the baby angels, then give the shepherds their crooks and push them on. It doesn't seem to say what I do all that.
Just follow the script.
Baby angels, shepherds, wise men. It doesn't seem to say when the fire engines come on.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Is everyone here? Beth, I want you and Alice to go up front where you can go help the baby angels. Will you come on stage, please? I just want to see how you look. Gladys, where's your halo?
Our cat buried it. Listen, I think I ought to say something besides the baby king. Why would they all get up and tear off after some baby they don't even know? I ought to tell them it's Jesus, and I ought to tell them where he is.
No, Gladys, you tell them unto you a child is born, and that's all you tell them. Now let's go backstage and try to be quiet while people are coming in, and good luck.
Mrs. Bradley, actors don't say good luck. Actors say break a leg.
Yes, I know that, Alice, but in this case, I don't think, for those of you who don't know, it's just a theoretical saying. It doesn't really mean break a leg, your own or anyone else's.
And Joseph went into Bethlehem with Mary his wife, who was great with child. And while they were there, she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. looks awful, and they look awful.
Well, they're having a hard time. They have a brand new baby to worry about.
Who? Ralph and Emma Jean?
No, Mary and Joseph. And in that region, there were shepherds in the field keeping watch over their flocks by night. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them. The glory of the Lord shone round about, and they were sore afraid when the angel of the Lord appeared to them and said, Be not.
Hey, unto you a child is born, Jesus, and he's in the barn. Go on and go see him. Go on, he's over there.
And suddenly there was a multitude of the heavenly host saying, Glory to God in the highest. When Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east to worship him, bringing gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh. Being warned in a dream that they should not return to their own country, the wise men departed another way. The shepherds also departed, praising God for all that they had seen and heard. But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart.
Could you believe that was Imogen Herman and all the rest of them? Irma, this was the best Christmas pageant we've ever had, and I'm not sure why. Do you think it was them?
Oh, I always get weepy about the pageant. I guess it's the children and the chaos and all. But you're right, this was the best one, and it should have been the worst.
There was just something different.
Well, the angel of the Lord was different.
Yes, but you know, I like that. I love the spirit. Sometimes you can't even hear the angel of the Lord. I must find Grace and tell her.
I just wish now I'd let her have Eugene to be the baby Jesus.
Who was the baby Jesus?
Why, it was a doll.
Oh, I don't think so, Irma. That was no doll.
Well, it did seem real.
It did seem real, as if it happened just that way. We all thought the Christmas story was about Jesus, but that's only part of it. It was about a new baby and his mother and father who were in a whole lot of trouble. No place to go, no money, no doctor, and nobody they knew. And arriving from the east, just like my uncle from New Jersey, some rich friends. Because of the Hermans, there was a whole new story. Imogen birthing the baby and the wise men bringing such a sensible gift. Besides, they couldn't eat frankincense. And even Gladys, he's in the barn, go see him, so the shepherds didn't have to stumble all over the countryside. But it wasn't like that for Imogen. For her, the Christmas pageant turned out to be full of wonder and mystery, as if she just caught on to what Christmas was all about. And after the pageant, we had a party in the basement, but they didn't stay. They didn't take any cocoa, and they didn't even take their candy canes.
Any kids left downstairs?
No, everyone's gone. You know you have your bathroom on. You aren't going to wear it, are you?
Well, maybe. What if they took me in for a shepherd? I wouldn't mind being taken in as a shepherd.
Yes, you would. And when it was over, some lady came up and hugged me because I was a shepherd. Should I bring this ham?
It's the Herman's hand from their welfare basket. Leroy said it's a present and you don't take back a present.
Leroy said that? They must hate him.
You and Alice Wendlekin.
What about the lights?
They're on a timer. They go off at midnight.
Well, that's not far away. It's almost Christmas.
It's almost Christmas, kids.
It's almost Christmas, Charlie.
And it came to pass in the days of,
And there were shepherds abiding, a multitude praising God.
I give you good tidings of great joy.
Hey, unto you a child is born.